The Montreal Canadiens fell 3-2 to Los Angeles in the second stop of their four-game journey across the southwestern United States. The Kings were blocked for most of the two periods, with Canadian goalkeeper Jake Allen making the difference. The Kings were injured, beating Allen twice in the third period, but Fredericton, NB puckstopper, takes the loss despite stopping 30 of the 33 shots. The defeat came after Habs beat the San Jose Sharks 3-1 in Game 1 of the road trip. In Game 2 on Thursday, the Canadiens faced the Kings, more competitive team that needed a win for playoff spot. Wild Horses' Josh Anderson is quietly having an outstanding season for Canadiens. He is occasionally criticized for his decisions in the offensive zone, as he has an overly bizarre goal of attacking the net too often. For critics, however, there can't really be a strong argument against the team's third highest goalscorer this season, behind Cole Caufield and Nick Suzuki. In power play in first period, Anderson was in front of net and a loose puck came to knock him into house from about a meter. That's 18 goals season for Anderson, a good number for a team that doesn't score much. Anderson has played best hockey of the year in last 2 months. He definitely makes the case for his general manager Kent Hughes when discussing his players' worth. To other GMs in the league, Anderson is a big body who glides well and is a total team player. He plays a heavy game that is perfect for the playoffs. It can provide strong value to a playoff club. Both of the Canadiens' goalkeepers have put together stunning stages of excellence this season. Samuel Montembeault had a dozen playtimes where his recovery percentage was over .930. Now, it's Jake Allen's time to shine. Allen had a .937 save percentage in his last 5 games before Thursday night. This is an outstanding sign that continues against the Kings. LA started slow, but they took control in the middle of the second period. Allen later took over. Allen made 30 saves on 33 shots to keep Montreal in the competition. The Canadiens have 2 goalkeepers in the top 20 for more than expected goals. Only one team can boast of it, the Boston Bruins. The Kirby Dach trade was trade for which Kent Hughes received the most praise as GM of Canadiens. However, the Mike Matheson acquisition is almost as bright. Matheson came from the Pittsburgh Penguins for Jeff Petry. Not only did the Canadiens gain 6 years, they actually got a better player. Matheson stood out in the lineup. He was flying over Los Angeles. Matheson joins run in an exciting way, then glides so well that he's actually so fast that he was one of 2 defenders in back when puck quickly flipped over. Matheson is also a hometown hero, and unlike Petry, who wants to get out of Canada, Matheson is excited move from Pointe Claire Montreal pursue his career. Hughes added Dach, Matheson, and Justin Barron. 2 more first-round players from the Florida Panthers and Calgary Flames will arrive. 5 powerful entities in a short time is impressive work, and it was a second perfect game for Denis Gurianov, the newest member of the Canadiens. In the first competition, Gurianov had 4 exceptionally high-quality chances, but could not convert. In his second match, he received a pass from Matheson on the left flank and launched an absolute rocket into the upper corner. You won't see a stronger and more labeled shot than Gurianov's first shot in the Canadiens' uniform. He reacted with enthusiasm, which usually a good indication that a player is happy where they are playing and mindful of the game. Gurianov was given 18 minutes of ice by a head coach who was hoping to find player who excelled in COVID-19 playoffs in Edmonton and helped push Dallas Stars to finals. If there's one coach who can find Gurianov's best play, it's Martin St. Louis. Wild Goats 558 brothers lose bet with Mancini. Wear Habs jersey during interview. It's surprising how well the Canadiens are doing with 10 regulars on their roster. In Los Angeles, Montreal only had 1 line with all NHL players. On defense, The Canadiens had 4 rookies. The Kings need wins to make the playoffs. But they faced a pretty tough challenge from the Canadiens. Half Laval Rocket and the other half of the Montreal Canadiens should stay out these games. Instead, in the first period, Montreal could have been 3 or 4 ahead if they had been able to turn their chances better. The Kings were stepping back as if they were the two-line club from the American Hockey League. This is Martin St. Louis must be instilling a great attitude. Nothing else makes sense. They should not be competitive. Most of these players didn't even put up big numbers in the all. It should be exciting for fans who love a win, but infuriating for those who want a high draft pick. The top 5 selections are long gone. If they continue to play this competitively, one of the top 10 will also disappear. On one hand, this is embarrassing considering the talent of draft. On the other hand, these players who are performing so admirably right now, but will only get better in the coming years. A sour note that this is another potentially significant injury for Canadiens. Justin Barron slammed into the planks and crushed his left shoulder. He sat on the bench for about 30 seconds, chatting with the training team. He then went to the locker room to take a closer look. He never came back for the rest of the night. It looks like a shoulder year. Cole Caufield and Arbor Exhakaj ended the season with a shoulder injury. Here's hoping Barron's challenge isn't serious. Wild Card's Kent Hughes is still quiet on the front as the trade line is fast approaching. The Montreal Canadiens general manager has until 3 p.m. ET Friday is about to find a market for the hard sell. This trade line didn't work out for Canadiens, as Sean Monahan and Joel Edmondson weren't in good health. Monahan had a foot problem in November that somehow turned into a mysterious problem. Head coach Martin St. No updates have been made about Monahan, except that Lewis said his recovery was slowing 2 weeks ago. At the time, no one knew exactly what it meant. It means he can't get better. Edmondson was also somewhat of a mystery, but at least the club gave updates on his condition. Edmondson has been working every day for over a month. His back continues to bother him. Edmondson took a trip to California as the management hoped he could play a game. He skated before the game on Tuesday, after which he was declared unfit to play. On Thursday they said it would be a playtime decision. Finally played. After living every day for 5 weeks, that day has finally come. Whether anyone bites Monahan or Edmondson seems like a remote possibility, even with trade conditions added. But at least the odds have increased for Edmondson to eventually play. That leaves only Josh Anderson as a player who has more chances to act than to stay. Anderson plays great hockey. Hughes has reportedly already turned down a first-round pick for Anderson. Hughes is a very patient trader who only seems to bite when he gets exactly what he wants. Spending time with Anderson, Hughes can trade him out of season. Also, considering Anderson is only 28 years old, he should have the same skill set as Anderson currently can hold until the next trade date. This looks eerie, but on plus side, Florida Panthers weren't loaded for a playoff run while they had close rivalries. So Panthers selection could be in top 15 if they don't make it postseason. Vegas bookies only have the Panthers with a 26% chance of qualifying for the playoffs. Canadiens were given a 0% chance. So Montreal will likely have 2 picks in the top 16 of the auditions. Considering the skill level of this year's draft class, that's a big win for the remake.